Salute to all the Patreon members. I want to thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to me. Right now, you guys should be hearing me clearly. I am connected to the microphone, so it should sound clear and crisp. No visuals today. Even though I am in a hotel, I just have no visuals for you guys today. All right? Do me a favor, check out the links in the description box below for the Patreon page. I just uploaded a brand new video earlier today. Check that out. Talking about the ICE raids, my opinions. Well, I didn't want to put that on YouTube. Anyways, check out the link in the description box below for the Facebook page. Join that. Other like-minded brothers that are chopping up game. You know, sending pictures of their travels, articles, experience, leaving comments. All right. So check that out in the description box below. And I'll probably upload one more Patreon video. I'll probably upload one more Patreon video tomorrow morning. And then you guys won't hear from me until Saturday. All right. So what's today? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 5 days. I'm gonna upload another Patreon video in between time, but another live stream. I won't do another one until Saturday. Unless it's really, really something in the media I need to talk about. All right. So stay tuned to the Patreon video. Link is in the description box below. Stay up to date with that and whatever's going on behind the scenes. All right. So let's get into it. I know this was on short notice, but people will watch the playback. So Brittany Renner and rapper Kevin Gates. What do you even call Brittany Renner? All right. Jump off, pass around, assist. Whatever she is, both of them got married. They were dating, both of them got married. And then she announced at the BET Awards with what's his name from out there in LA? I forgot his name. You know, I've seen him around. I don't subscribe to his YouTube channel or whatever. Nothing against him. I just haven't really seen any interesting interviews from him like that I really care about. But I'm familiar with him. She said to him, like, oh no, we're divorced now. They were married for 52 days, and then she was explaining how in Islam, there's like a 90-day grace period to see if there's any reconciliation, to see if she's pregnant, to try to see if they could work things out or move forward. Right? And here's the thing behind that. First of all, this is why your past means everything. All right? This is why your past is important. The person you're dating, their past is important. And how they're moving and how they're living is very important. You got two freaks that got into a marriage that's claiming a religion, and people of this religion are letting them run around with the past that they have and the worldly things that they're doing in the religion, not calling it out and wondering why they only last 52 days. All right. You had somebody that was bragging about having sex with a bunch of athletes. It's too easy. Even Deion Sanders brought you in to speak to guys to avoid women like yourself. You think all that changes because you take on a religion. That doesn't mean anything. All right. And you're still wearing makeup, living worldly ways out in the public eye. You know, if somebody wanted to join Islam or join a religion and just get with somebody else in the faith, they would go away. You wouldn't see them ever again. It was like, hey, I'm deleting my page. I don't care to be seen anymore. I don't care to be this social media light anymore. I'm going away. I'm going to find somebody in my religion and getting up out of the limelight. And I'm going to live by the faith of my own religion and what my man got to say. Because, you know, if God made man in his image and, you know, my man is God's body, then I know God speaks through my man, and I'm following him and his path through righteousness in the ways of Allah. All right. But now what you do is you get with another celebrity to get more fame and more attention, and to announce this on an attention-whoring platform like a BET, right? No one's going to be everywhere on the blogs. You're telling people you're available, right? And then you get with somebody else who's so-called in the religion, and this man is still rapping about thug shit, violence, being a big gangster, right? Still doing interviews talking about his dick and eating booty, right? Sucking toes. The people, the normal everyday person who walks in their faith allows this. Then whenever he comes around, right, you go to Morocco, you know, his photo ops, people are happy to see him, and you still live in the ways of a degenerate, talking like a degenerate. You see, I'm not saying that, you know, looking at them and seeing how they get down, you know, they probably inspire others to want to join the same religion as them. I'm not saying that's how they live. I don't think they live purposely to try to influence others to become a Muslim or to learn the ways of Islam, right? But seeing how they move, it's like, man, I don't want to have anything to do with religion, right? It's kind of like, man, if people in these religious communities can live and talk that way, and nobody else in the community calls them out, it's like, man, I might as well stay out here amongst the worldly folks, because what's the difference? Yeah, they say God uses the worst as a vessel, right? But if you're being used as a vessel, man, you gotta, well, at the end of the day, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You really don't have to do anything. You could do whatever the hell you want to do. But the thing is I don't look at a woman like that and be like, okay, damn, look at her, she living righteous now. No, right? You still want to be out here seen, have everything that comes with it. And just because you talking like, oh, I'm out here, you know, I don't need to hug or touch any man's hand or whatever, and, you know, because of Islam, and, you know, we could do air high fives and this, that, and the third, but what's the point of me touching, have other men touch me and this, dude, I mean, you acting like you talking a talk, but it's like, what are you here for? You want to join Islam, man, go find somebody out there on Jane and Finch in Toronto and get up off of social media, never to be seen again. Never to be seen and heard again. Hey, I'm going to just collect child support from PJ Washington, live over here with my man. He go to work, I take care of the household, and I just live a normal life. This is why the past matters. Because now it's like you making a mockery, both of them, making a mockery of what it is that you're not even being taught. The scripture, the word, don't teach you to do that. Here you are on the internet. One is laughing, the other one is criticizing somebody who, I don't know if they're religious or not. You criticizing somebody else's marriage, somebody else's wife, talking crazy, cursing online. He got the message. He has something to say. You show a front row, seeing if it was going to be an issue, seeing if it was going to be a problem. As if like, hey, man, I'm war ready. I'm battle tested. I'm war ready. I want to see if he's going to do anything. With your wife, who acting like, okay, I'm a part of this religion as well, right? Here's the thing, man. When you look at somebody's past, it's like sometimes people can say certain things, do certain things, and move a certain way, and you still see, okay, I can see right through that. A lot of guys in hip hop who take on these prison religions, you see right through that. You take on a religion and now you're going to catch up. You're going to fly all the way to LA to catch a body over innocent man, over nothing. Over nothing. Because what a bunch of losers is putting pressure on you, and you carry out a brazen act in the middle of the day in a state where they have very, very strict gun laws. We see through all that. All right? We see through all that. You're just on the internet bragging about everybody you sucked. Man, you want a baby by an athlete or a rapper, it's way too easy to do that. Seem like you still trying to maintain and hold on to a worldly image, both of them. But I'm talking about the chick. You still holding on to a worldly image and a maintained status in a cesspool of fuckery on a social media platform just for your name to stay out there. Some people, man, if they really serious about, hey, I'm following this. This is my new life. Man, you stay the fuck out the limelight, and you get out of the way. I know somebody who wasn't. I know somebody personally who was really out there in the streets. Right, this chick, she's a baby mama, sucking and fucking everybody who came through this club in a city I'm not going to say in Canada. All right. I knew her sister, her cousin. I've met her mother before, dirty as hell. And it was sad to see how the daughters and the cousin turned out to be. But you look at the mothers, like, hey, they didn't stand a chance. Right? They smoking in front of the mother, talking about sex in front of the mother, right? Cursing in front of the mother, but the mother don't give a shit because the mother is just as worse as them. So they didn't have a chance. These aren't celebrities I'm talking about. So she had a baby at a very young age. Her and her baby daddy broke up. Right? Single mother, sister is single mother, cousin is a single mother, multiple baby daddies. But the particular sister I'm talking about, she only had one baby daddy, one kid. But she said she found somebody who was a part of Islam, and she took an oath to leave the worldly things behind and she deleted everything on social media. She got up out the club. She stopped drinking. She stopped cursing, right? She accepted, okay, I'm a single mother, but the father, her husband, she ended up getting married. The husband accepted her for who she was. But as long as you follow by my side, follow my lead, and follow the ways of Allah through me, and you leave the worldly things behind, your future will be much brighter. And she stood by that. She got the fuck out the way, is married now. She wears a hijab. And she's serious about her marriage and her faith and her family with her husband. That's somebody I respect. Not this right here. You talking about the ways of Islam, and you up on live with a dude who's shitting on another man, his wife, in their marriage, right? And they've been together forever, still together, playing ball with his family, and y'all can't even last 2 months in a marriage, and you laughing at somebody else's marriage. You laughing at what your husband is saying about somebody else's marriage. But he swear up and down he in the faith. Why? Because you got Islamic chains on. You got 10 different Islamic chains on and tattoos, and you've been to this mosque. And that don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. And you turn around and get on an interview talking about your dick again. Yeah, but it don't matter. I got me a big old dick anyways. What? You still talking like that? You know what I'm saying? At least a Christian, some of these Christians out here, somebody who's seriously in the Christian religion, even though a lot of people, it seemed like they give more criticism at one point in time to, over Christians still living worldly ways, more so than Islam. It's switched because Christians, man, Christian rappers out there, you don't hear them cursing. You don't hear them, hey, man, I got me a big old dick anyways, eating booty, pussy from the back. Like, you don't hear these Christian rappers talking like that, right? You don't hear nobody, and I'm not saying they're perfect either. There's people you can call out in that community. But sometimes, man, it's like, and I'm not saying one is better than the other, but it's like people who are in prison religions, it's like you taking a religion that most of these guys pull from prison, and then it seeps its way over into the hood, and then now your big homie is putting you on to it, but you still doing the same thing. And you making a mockery out of something. And then these young, impressionable kids, they watching. And y'all can't even last 50, y'all can't last 2 months, a full 2 months together. And you want to shit on somebody else's marriage. Who knows? I don't hear them openly talking about, Christianity or any religion for that matter. But they're lasting. And the guy you criticize, yeah, he's opinionated, right? Not saying he perfect. I don't like how his wife be looking at him like, you see them white girl when he walk in the stadium, they looking at him like he's God, like, oh. Your wife, she looking at you like, ugh. And what did she call him? Or what did he call her to make old girl laugh like that? Man, come on now. Like, I don't speak to people who play around like that. I'd rather speak to somebody who's like, nah, I'm not religious at all. And they're a straight shooter with you than somebody who is, putting religion in the forefront. It's like, hey man, it's this first, then me. And you still carrying on like that. And then on top of that, it's like you a woman following somebody like that. We're not following them anymore. But man, it don't matter if you go celibate. It don't matter if you go Islam. It don't matter if you go Christian. Man, I know your past. For somebody to deal with you, I mean, there's always a sucker, especially in the entertainment world, that's willing to deal with you and go through the same thing that every other guy has gone through. Because you said in that interview, yeah, 90 days to see if I'm pregnant. That's your aim, huh? I got a check from him. I'm getting a little bit older. Let me get a check from him. Let me get 2 checks and hide behind religion on this. I mean, there's evangelists who've done the same thing in a different way, right? Use people's weakness of fear to get money up out of them, right? But you can't, that shit don't work on me. That might work on somebody else. That might work on a fool. But it's like, all right, single mother, these were the videos you was making. Deion Sanders brought you in to teach everybody a lesson to stay the fuck away from you. And now you just in Islam, but you still on social media. You still going live. And you still dating people like that? Nah. You're not even worth a good time. You are dangerous to be. You're not even worth a good time. Woman like that, man, you end up in some lawsuit. Yeah, I was violated. Allegedly, I was violated, so I'm going to sue him. No, why don't you put criminal charges on somebody if you was violated? See, like the hustle now is just get people talking and then put lawsuits on them by a lot of women. Let me get with this dude so people will keep talking to me. Then I still get invites over here. If your name is still in the media, do they still pay you? They still got to pay you if they constantly using your name in the media. What is that called again? You're not really about. You're not about what you say you are. You're not about the religion that you're standing up for. I know women who got all the way the fuck about the way, because it's like, no, I'm focused on my husband, and my husband, Allah speaks to my husband. I'm following my husband, taking care of my children. I used to be like this, not anymore. I've met women who have literally changed their ways, and they stay out the way. They don't have a social media account, and they really mean that. It don't matter if they end up middle class, lower middle class. It don't matter if all the money goes away and the attention goes away. Their faith and their family is more important. That ain't important to you. It's just another way to get people talking. All right. That's why a lot of men aren't in the church. And you know why it only lasted 52 days? Because you're not really with a man. You with a little boy. What's the difference between the way he talk and the way some 13-year-old middle school talk? it really ain't no difference. When he get online, it's shit that goes viral. It sounds goofy. It sounds stupid. You're not talking to a 40-year-old. You're not listening to a 40-year-old man, right? And there's nothing wrong with being 40 and funny. But in this case, you 40 and goofy. You 40 and weird. You 40 still suffering from trauma. You 40 still looking to say shit to go viral, to sound stupid. And then they still let you up in the mosque the next day. Man, Christians, they don't even allow that. I'm like, man, you said what? On the Breakfast Club, and then you coming back over here? Nah. Get up, nah. No. We don't care if this is your church and you built this. Either we getting you up out of here and you let one of your underlings take over this church, or the whole congregation, we just leaving. And then we'll let this church lose all the fundings and go bankrupt. And we'll let this church go into foreclosure. We'll let this church go out of business. So nah, I don't. And this isn't even criticizing anybody's religion, right? I'm talking about how they're moving. It's blasphemous how they're moving. And you could be somebody who's genuinely trying to change, and you found a calling in religion, and that's a good thing. I'm not against that, right? I'm not against that. The person you get with, it's up to their discretion whether they look at your past and say, hey, you know what? Let me give this person a second chance, right? That's up to that person. They don't have to. They don't have to pursue a relationship with you or any form of a friendship or whatever with you if you used to be this person. They don't have to. That's the beauty about life. Everybody doesn't have to accept, your forgiveness or your road to redemption. People don't have to accept that from you. But it's kind of like you see, this is bad, right? You go from calling out football players, laughing at them. You want to get a bag, do this. You can easily get pregnant. Then you end up doing that. You go on a podcast and you was under the influence of something, talking crazy, throwing shit at men, twerking on Charleston White, right? You don't stay with your baby daddy. Then you go into religion. And you talk a good talk, but you're not walking the good walk, right? Then into a marriage, then you marry somebody. Okay, let me get somebody who's talking a good talk, not even talking, he's talking goofy, just representing this religion. Let me get with one of the most popular people in this world who's still living a worldly life in this religion. Get with him, then get married because, my name will be everywhere. We'll be seen everywhere. We'll go viral everywhere. And then it only lasts in 52 days. Family, man, you got to be an idiot to even be friends with a chick like that. You got to be an idiot to even want to say hello and good morning to a chick like that. That's why somebody's past matter. But you see, that's the stronghold that a lot of women have on men. your weakness and your lack of ability to control your emotions, your sexual emotions, right? That's why a lot of women, they just like, yeah, whatever. I hear all that shit y'all talking in Red Pill and on Fresh and Fit and Kevin. Yeah, I hear that shit, but I know y'all. I know y'all too well. I'm like, who the fuck you talking to? That's why they used to argue with Kevin Samuels, because it was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm seeing who's that other. There's another podcast. It's two Caucasian males. They're on TikTok, and I don't remember their podcast names or whatever. But they have like this round table, and they bring in OnlyFans models, and it's like it seems like they trying to talk sense to them, and they're deflecting, and the men are getting frustrated, right? You see, they talk that shit because it's like, that sounds cool, but I'm out here. I'm out here. You can say what you want, but all right, so what? There's 100 guys that don't want to deal with me because I'm an OnlyFans model, but the thousands in my DMs, they want to pay for some shit. They want to fly me out, pay for some shit, and take care of my bills and buy me luxury items and buy me cars and houses. So I don't know what you're talking about. There are guys out there who sexually cannot control their emotions when it comes to women. Women, they've mastered, they probably always mastered, but they mastered a long time ago how to control their sexual emotions with men. Most women, most women, their emotions, their sexual emotions will probably go crazier over women than a man, right? With a man, it's like it's business. All right, yeah, I need to scratch my itch every once in a while, but who's thirsty, right? Right? A lot of guys be talking that talk because let me tell you, this Brittany Renner chick, somebody else is gonna pop out with her, right? You know, Rico Reckless is probably gonna get with her, and then that's gonna go viral and on the internet, and you can't control yourself. I remember hearing Rico Reckless talking about Summer Walker, one of the dirtiest women in the music industry. You look trashy, right? Some of your videos are trashy. You twerking on top of a car while you pregnant with twins, trashy. The tattoos with the blonde wig on top of your head, up at the Quick Trip, rapping about your coochie and everything while you pregnant with twins, trashy, right? Two babies daddies already, trashy. He up here, on Vlad confessing his love to, oh man, I was always in love with her. I used to send her a DM for years. I used to always see her in a DM. I used to get, she would never pay attention to me. It got so bad where, I started to get, making, send her a DM where I'm demanding to be with her. I'm making threats to be with her. Boy, oh man, somebody play with mine. Oh, you talking about airing it out, emptying the magazine and reloading over this chick. Over trash. And what does this have to do with traveling? Because, man, let me tell you, brothers, they'll book a flight. They'll renounce their U.S. citizenship and they'll uplift the equivalent of a Summer Walker over somewhere in Asia. They'll uplift the equivalence of a Brittany Renner over somewhere in Europe, right? They'll uplift the equivalence of a Cash Doll somewhere in South America, right? They'll uplift the equivalence of a Cardi B with 3 kids by an ex named Offset, right? With tattoos all over his face and his neck, in Central America. You see this and they wonder why, damn, I guess we can't go over there no more. No, because it don't matter where you go. You cannot control your sexual emotions and move with pride and dignity and respect and seriousness. There's a lack of seriousness in the Black community or Black culture, whatever you want to call it. There's a lack of seriousness amongst adults. There's a lot of overgrown adolescents. The way both of them move, the reason why, on social media, they go viral, and because it's entertaining to watch grown kids sometimes. You'll get a chuckle here and there out of a grown-ass man acting like a kid. It's not boring. You know what I'm saying? But it's like there's nothing serious that you contribute to society, right? You want to be used as a vessel to influence others, but what are you influencing to do? Now people talking like you. Yeah, I be eating booty and this, that. Put my dick in her ass. I put that banana in her ass. It's like, all right, we laugh every once in a while, but it's like, and then now it's like, your whole image, gangster freak image, right? With your music, your covers, the artwork, the title, the name of the songs. You're surrounding it, your chains, tattoos, you're surrounding it with this religion. And it's disgusting, right? You could be doing so much, like I said, you don't have to do nothing, right? You don't have to do a damn thing. That kind of energy, and there was something that he said that I did agree with. You could take, he said, man, I used to do this, that, and the third. And I think Charlamagne the God asked him, so, all that stuff you used to do, you just cut it cold turkey, what? And he said, no, I just took, I'm paraphrasing what he said. I used to take negative habits and I just turn them into positive habits. So the same energy is there. It's just used for more positive habits, like going to the gym, right? Instead of poisoning my body with drugs, this, that, and the third, and alcohol. And maybe he didn't mention drugs or whatever, but instead of poisoning my body with this and having negative habits, I turn them into positive habits. Look, man, you might have cut some shit out, but there ain't really too many positive habits that you're doing right now. Right? The chick too. You see, both of them damn near 2 peas in a pod. And all that is, see, it goes viral because all that is entertaining. It's entertainment. And people are dumb enough, some people are dumb enough to follow that type of entertainment. I don't follow nobody, right? Sure, I'm on Instagram. I click follow on certain things because I like seeing certain things on my timeline. But nobody in hip hop influenced me, right, to want to live how they live, to want to do the things that they do. It's just good to hear a song every once in a while, to see a woman's backside every once in a while. it's cool every once in a while to see you traveling and driving a car I've never seen before. But there's nothing inspirational that's out there today, right? That is being plastered in the media spaces. And a lot of that, sometimes it's like we like to blame the person for putting it out there. And yes, you put it out there, you deserve certain levels of criticism. Man, the algorithm, they just as worse, right? The algorithm is just as worse. The algorithm will put this in front of you, right? So I don't want to make this stream about religion or whatever. I respect anybody's religion. This wasn't a stream to bash religion. I'm talking about people who make a mockery out of religion. You hide your sickness. You're not even hiding your sickness. It's like you promoting your sickness and blending it in with your religion. That's sick, right? That is a sickness. If you really want to live a righteous life, right? And even if you don't have to be, you don't have to be religious. Let's take religion out of those two, because they're putting it out there. Like in every interview now, they mention something about it. Let's say they weren't religious. Man, look, your past, at the end of the day, it's two weirdos, two freaks that got together and a marriage imploded, right? In 52 days. Now, I mean, that's a annulment. It don't matter if there's a prenup in there or not. It'll get annulled, right? But you see how much of a joke getting married today is, right? You see how much of a joke it is. You see what happens when you asking somebody questions and they telling you all the red flags that they have, and then since you cannot control your sexual emotions, and you go through with something like this, what can happen in less than 2 months? All right. So that's all I got. I hope I didn't sound too preachy. That's all I wanted to say. Nobody mentioned anything in the comment section. And look, man, I'm no better than anybody else, right? But I will say this, you know, I watch my father still go to church every Sunday to this day, right? I watch my father watch his words when he talk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I don't want to say anything. If I'm walking in this line of faith, I don't want to say anything that'll make me look like something that I'm not, right? So to this day, still studies the Bible, right? Everybody's not perfect, whether they religious or not, right? But you converting over to a religion with your backstory, and then you still living like this, right? It don't mean you drinking. You don't have to drink. You don't have to smoke. You don't have to go to parties, right? But you still want thought-like attention on the internet. I mean, it's you gave up what? Okay, I'm not doing this no more, but I'm still doing this. Where is that gonna go? Because right now, man, look, You think she's not gonna be with a man no more? I guarantee you, it's gonna be somebody. It's gonna be somebody even goofier than a Kevin Gates, and then you still gonna see this on the algorithm, and then she's still gonna put religion in the forefront. To me, that's game. Don't use religion as game. But anyways, I'm over and I'm out. Check out the links in the description box below. You guys take care. Peace.